There is an ongoing debate in social media about haircuts and size and length of hair in secondary schools. We will not tolerate it today, we will not tolerate it tomorrow, and so long as we are molding character. If we give in to hair today, tomorrow it will be shoes, and the next day it will be the way they dress. Therefore, as part of our disciplinary measures, headmasters and GES, you are accordingly empowered to take full control of how students behave on your campuses. So
I'm sure you have come across this video where a young lady has been asked to cut short her hair before she can enter into second cycle institution. And what is going on is very, very bad. Why would you tell the young girl to cut short her hair before she can be able to get access to secondary education, which is part of her right as a citizen? Even foreign nationals come to the second cycle institution or what have you, and they are allowed to wear their hair in pride and style. But why is it that when the Ghanaian does that, it's a problem? This must be taken a look at. GES, you can do better. GES, you can do better. I remember during the time where the young guy with the dreadlocks issue came up, where the Achimota school didn't want to give him access to the secondary level because of his dreadlocks. Ni NMFL no watashi as Ghanaian, woke aye 21st century, 20 whatever century. In the age of the computer, we still sit here, we still ban children from accessing education just because they have a certain hairstyle. This thing must stop. Because for me, what I know is during the colonial time, colonial masters asked the indigenes to cut short their hairs, and then the mulattoes, which is the Afghans, are left to leave their hairs like that so that they are separated, which didn't go down well with so many people back then. But we were forced to accept it because we were in the colonial era where the so-called colonial masters has all the powers. But now, fast forward, we have independence. Independence means we are free to do whatever we want, provided it is in the right step for our future. And now Ghana Education Service is still locked up in the system where you have to ask young African Ghanaian students, especially, to cut short their hair. Nisani onupa atishina kwenine mpenyivo a omukebia edimu no also omunso omudi omanutum, because it will go on like this, and eventually we the youth, we will be fed up with the system where we are denied our privilege and right. Because I know the Ghana Education Service people and even the government officials who are in charge of our education service travel. And what makes this thing very dangerous is that a young girl finishes junior high school and will go into secondary school. If you ask this young girl to cut short their hairs after they've gone through the secondary cycle institution and they've come out, now they will be chasing these foreign hairs, human hair, and all of that just to cover their skulls, because you didn't initially make them to keep and adorn their natural hair in style and in pride. You make them cut off all the natural hair they have, and then when they come out, they now go after these foreign brands of hair, human hair, frontal, and all those things. Because for me, I believe the young girls have to cover that shame, that skull, because for them it's a shame. So these are some of the consequences. One, we create employment for foreign nationals who are into human hair, braids, and all those frontals and what have you. We create employment for other foreign nationals because they would have to create fake hairs, human hairs, and whatever, and export it to Ghana, because our young girls are in dying need of these fake hairs to cover their scars, which is very bad. And we are always talking about creating employment for the youth. So how is it that you create a problem which later compounds into bigger unemployment for the youth, because you are creating the employment elsewhere? So let's get this straight. We are advocating that if they have been asked to keep their hairs, still there should be regulations as to how they should maintain it. Maybe braid it down during school sessions and what have you. And by so doing, teach them some petty skills that they will learn. And if they are able to grow their hairs naturally and after school, because they have that natural hair, they will look for natural products. And who is best to produce such products than people who understand what it means to keep a natural hair? You are going to create employment for the people and for the Ghanaian children. So we are creating unemployment in advance, and we have to take a look at it. To conclude this, let me say this. Kudos to those of you who have been blessed to be able to still grow your hairs and everything. But the truth of the matter is, the hair that we have on our body is not for fun. It's not just anything, because we've had so many experiences where a conversation, or you are in a situation where the hairs on your body will rise, and you'll be like, you'll be in a certain feeling, you'll be in a certain state. This shows the importance of these things. In other words, it's an antenna to connect you to the rest of the things in the universe, to the trees, to everything. And also, I will indulge you to try this experiment. Take a piece of paper, and then rub a pen through your hair for a couple of seconds, and then bring it closer to the piece of paper. You see, it attracts it. This is a piece of paper, and this is a pen. You can use whatever pen. Just rub it on your skull. And those of you who have your natural hair, this is a simple thing for you all. So you just try, rub it through your skull, and then when you've done this for a couple of seconds, bring the pen closer to the paper and see what happens. This is not magic. This is not magic. Our hairs, as we have them, is a form of antenna which connects us to the universe. This is science. Science has proven it. So don't let your young girls, the GES and the Ghanaian populace, the government, don't let your young girls crop their hair. If you are fortunate enough to be able to have natural hair, let them keep it. Because in as much as you think intellectually and you're like, people have to conform and be in some conformity with the system, you are still denying them of other things that you don't know of. Because intellect and the formal education won't teach you everything. There are things that you are denying your kids access to. When you travel outside, how many? I don't even know. I can't collect. If not Ghana and maybe some other African countries, who ask their kids to crop their hair before they can get access to their natural rights and responsibility. That is enshrined in the Constitution, like education. It's not done anywhere. So this thing that I just demonstrated should tell you a lot, that the hair on our skull has a lot of importance that we don't even know of. So even me, with nothing on my head, how much more someone who has grown their hair naturally? So we can do better as Ghanaians. We can do better. Like and share this video so that this video reaches the authorities and let them know what is going on, and that we are missing out on so much. We can do better as Ghanaians. We can do better. Let's meet in the comment section and share our mind and share ideas. Peace.